So I was thinking today, though, about something. What makes a person dangerous? And in a world of a lot of danger and a lot of craziness, you have to be dangerous yourself to avoid a lot of danger and craziness, if that makes any sense. So what makes a person dangerous? A lot of people think that, if you got the latest pistol or the latest knife, then you're dangerous. Or they think maybe that if you went to some kind of special training, that you're dangerous. And that's what makes you dangerous. But that's not the truth. There's something else that makes a person really dangerous. And when I was a pilot, I noticed that, I was an Army helicopter pilot. I worked with a lot of special ops teams and people along the way. But I learned this way before I got in the military. I learned this in my hometown. And there were certain people in my hometown that were dangerous people. They were willing. They were dangerous. And so what made them dangerous? I remember on the fights that we would have down the dirt road, and there'd be a group, and then there would be two guys get together, and all of a sudden, but there was this one guy that was specifically dangerous, that you knew he was dangerous. And what made him dangerous? And the one key factor that I noticed through all my experience in life is what makes people dangerous is their willingness to get on your ass. Their willingness to pull that trigger. Their willingness to stick that blade between your rib cage. Their willingness to strike you first and strike you hard. And not care about how it makes you feel or how they feel about it. The number one characteristic that makes someone dangerous is their willingness to hit you first and to hit you hard. So think about that. I remember this one kid. He's not a kid anymore. He's a grown man. But I remember that someone would be pushing him around or bullying him or doing something that just wasn't right. And all of a sudden, he would look off and then he'd look back and pop. He would hit them. And he would hit them and not quit hitting them until they were life-lighted. And I would think to myself, wow, that guy's dangerous. And then I remember in the military, when there were guys that they had all this training and everything, but they hesitated. They would hesitate and they wouldn't pull the trigger, and then they'd end up getting somebody killed or something because they were kind of afraid they weren't willing to bring their violence up to the level of the enemy and to bring it up quickly and to do damage. I know a lot of people that are very dangerous, and they're very dangerous with just something as easy as a knife or even their fist. I mean, they don't mind knocking you completely out quickly. They don't need a gun to be dangerous. So when you're out there and you're thinking about survival and you're thinking about all this stuff, think about the dangerous, what makes someone dangerous. And you want to always watch out for those that are willing to pop you in the face quick and hard. And there's some real criminals out there that are willing to do that. And there's some good men there out there that are willing to do that. But you have to be willing to do that too. If you see that your life is getting in danger or your family's life's in danger, you got to be able to bring your level of violence. The violence of action has to be instant, instant, and you have to have no remorse and no feeling for the person you're about to inflict that on. You can't sit and worry, oh God, I hope I don't hit them too hard, or hope this, that, and other. And our society teaches us, not to inflict pain, not to do things like that. But in certain cases, you have to be willing to bring that level of violence quickly and accurately, without hesitation, without holding back, without pulling your punches, things like that, in order to win the fight, and to win the fight quickly. Because the longer the fight goes on, the more chance you have of being injured, or your people around you being injured, and all that kind of stuff. Whether you're using your fist, a blade, a weapon, whatever. I mean, you have to be willing. So willingness is what makes you dangerous. Willingness to pop them in the mouth first, fast, not holding back anything. That's what makes someone dangerous. Now, you can add things like training to that, so that you know where to pop them, to inflict the most damage. You can add weapons training to that. But the underlying base to everything is willingness. Okay? All right, think about that. Ask yourself, how willing are you to protect yourself and your family?